Welcome back to Season 3 of Milnick Insurance Company's The Verdict. I'm your host, Tammie Smeltz. This year, Milnick is celebrating our 50th anniversary. We are grateful for the opportunity to be of service to the New York healthcare community for half a century, and we look forward to providing service like no other for years to come. Before we dive into today's episode, I want to extend a huge thank you to all of you, our listeners. We wouldn't be here without you. My guest today is Dawn Wilno, President of Core Association Partners, the association management partner of the NYMGMA, the New York Medical Group Management Association. Hi, Dawn. Thank you for being a guest on The Verdict. I'm really excited to chat with you today about the NYMGMA. Can you tell our listeners a little bit about yourself in the NYMGMA?
Yes. Hi. Thank you for having me on. And hello, everyone. My name is Dawn Wilno. I am the president of Core Association Partners, and we are the association management partner for New York MGMA. And I am the organization's acting director since the fall of 2020. My company, Core, was born through volunteerism and the commitment to the healthcare community. Having been a member previously of New Jersey MGMA for many years, in 2010, I volunteered to serve on their conference committee, and a year later was nominated to be their conference committee chair. And following that conference, I was approached with the idea of managing the organization, and that's how this kind of all came about. My core team was and is dedicated, hardworking, honest, and committed to learning and understanding the industry as a whole. We're focused on exceptional service with our members and developed true partnerships with our sponsors committed to supporting our organizations. 15 years later, here we are, and we're extremely proud of our track record, now serving members of 14 different nonprofit healthcare organizations nationwide, from California to Maine, all of who have come to us, I'm proud to say, through word of mouth, and we're so humbled by the faith that our clients have shown in us. New York MGMA happens to be one of my favorite clients, and I am not just, saying that. I'm not the type to say that. I'm a Jersey girl, and, we don't pull any punches, but New York MGMA just gets it. From their board members to their partners, their sponsors, their members, they understand the old adage that there is strength in numbers. From a professional standpoint, I'll tell you that New York MGMA is a vital resource to healthcare professionals and medical group managers throughout the state. Through educational programs, mentoring, advocacy, and networking, our members attain professional growth and development. New York MGMA is a state affiliate of the National MGMA and provides resources in the state and regional forums for its constituents. We assist in developing personal and professional skills that advance the art and science of medical group practice management. Speaking from the heart, I'll tell you that this group is here for its members. In today's ever-changing healthcare environment, no one can do it all alone. At some point, you're going to come up against something that you've never experienced before, something that you need to bounce off of someone who's been there and done that, or just need to vent to someone to gain a better understanding of what you're up against and what you're trying to do. And that's where this network of your peers really steps forward.
Thanks, Dawn. That's quite a history. And I've met several members of the core team, and they're all very lovely, super helpful, and especially with the MGMA events, which, as I'm sure you know, are one of my favorite. I very much enjoy networking at these events, and the collaboration between the members is really quite amazing. It's something that you have to see in person because everybody gets along so well, and they're colleagues and friends, and you can just feel that energy when you go to one of the meetings.
I love hearing that.
Yeah, it's always an uplifting event, in my opinion. Now, can anybody join the NYMGMA?
Anyone who lives or works in New York and is employed by or the owner of an entity directly engaged in the management of a medical practice or the delivery of healthcare services, or is employed by an entity that provides goods or support services to a medical practice or a healthcare provider is eligible for membership. We also welcome students enrolled in an accredited institution of higher learning and a healthcare-related degree program. We have quite a few student members. I'm happy to always work with the students that are on their way up.
That's great to know. I wasn't aware that students can be members, and this is a really great opportunity for them to learn from mentors and get a feel for the NYMGMA.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the younger generation in particular sometimes doesn't understand the importance of building your professional network. So I love to get in front of the students and talk to them about that.
Yes, that's great. And we love to get in front of students ourselves, medical students and residents. So we always enjoy, sharing our knowledge with those up and coming professionals. Now, I know over the next couple of months, there's a lot of chapter meetings. Can you tell us a little bit about each chapter and what we might expect at this year's spring seminars?
Absolutely. This is a really busy time of year for New York MGMA and its 6 local chapters, which include the Adirondacks, Buffalo, Central, Northeast Albany, Metro, and Rochester. In addition to our annual state conference, each region hosts 2 events per year, usually in the spring and then again in the fall. Coming up, we have the Rochester MGMA HFMA Joint Spring Seminar on April 25th at the Locust Hill Country Club. This joint event has been a staple for the Rochester chapter for several years and is always a hit with our members. The program features a healthcare law review with my great friends here at MILMIC, a state budget update, and a local healthcare leaders panel focusing on challenges our members are facing today. And then in May, we have 3 chapters hosting. First, the Buffalo chapter is meeting on May 1st at the Reichert House. This chapter will also be treated to the MILMIC 2025 Healthcare Law Review, as well as an AI session and a leadership session focusing on comfortability in chaos. On May 14th, the Central chapter is meeting at the Craftsman Inn and Suites in Fayetteville. This program features hot legal topics, a 2025 medical practice challenge in areas of opportunity, and an exciting new session with MILMIC. There's an app for that, reining in social media practices for the healthcare professional. The very next day on May 15th, it's the Northeast Albany chapter's turn, and they're hosting at the Park at Trilogy Hotel. Once again, MILMIC will be presenting. There's an app for that, in addition to MISNY's legislative update and finishing up with a HIPAA privacy rule session. The Adirondack chapter is still finalizing its plans, so more to come there. And the Metro chapter is working on an exciting networking event that may or may not involve a certain professional sports team. So certainly more to come on that, and that will be a collaborative event. So we're excited to bring that information to you very soon.
This is all very exciting, and I know that we're thrilled that we have speakers at so many of these chapter events. Now, that professional sports team, that's a secret. We're not going to talk about that on this podcast, or
we're just not ready to talk about that yet. We're still in the planning stages, but I am very confident that very soon we'll have information on that.
Okay, and I'm going to just assume it doesn't involve the Buffalo Bills.
It does not involve the Bills, and unfortunately doesn't involve hockey, which is near and dear to my heart. But so I think we narrowed it down a little bit for you. You might be able to figure out where we're going with that.
We did narrow it down a bit, but we will keep it a secret. More to come. Maybe we'll have you back on the podcast to talk about this collaborative event. Now, one of my favorite MGMA events is the state event in Turning Stone. I love that event, and I also love Turning Stone. And it's such a great venue to have a big meeting like this. Can you tell us a little bit about the keynote speaker for this year?
Sure. I met Brett Hoogeveen a couple of years ago, and he was brought to me from a board member of my Nebraska client where Brett is from. Brett is a co-founder of Better Culture along with his dad, and he's just the most down-to-earth guy. He's so smart, so intelligent, and he presents in a way that everyone can relate to. He's going to be presenting Mastering the Mathematics of Workplace Culture, and then his second session is the Leadership Mindset, Improve the Way You Think and Lead with 7 Transformative Principles. In the modern world of work, organizations understand the value of culture. Culture drives talent, talent drives quality, quality drives customers, and customers drive revenue. But what does it take to drive culture? In his sessions, participants learn the mental model or mindset for leadership based around Better Culture's 7 principles of leadership that has a proven track record of creating award-winning workplace cultures. Along the way, he'll explore current data and trends, time-tested leadership best practices, and a handful of easy-to-implement practical skills and tactics that will equip any leader to develop their teams and strengthen their workplace culture. And on another note, in regards to Turning Stone, I have to say, I love this venue. When we host at Turning Stone, everyone seems to stay together, from our partners and sponsors to our attendees, and we just have a great time.
Yeah, I agree. It is such a welcoming environment. All of the extra events that you have, like the dueling pianos, I think you had one year. I really enjoyed that.
We did.
Yeah, it's such a great venue. I'm really looking forward to this year and definitely attending the keynote speakers to educational programs. Now, one of our senior risk management consultants, Joyce McCormick, who I also think is on the board, is going to speak about medical professional liability claims. What other interesting programs should we be looking out for this year?
Joyce is on our board, and she's just such a valuable resource for our members and always willing to deliver timely subject matter. We're just so happy to have her back again this year. For 2025, we're really going all out on education. We're kicking things off on Wednesday this year with a few pre-conference events, which we haven't done previously. We're delivering a 4-hour Lean Six Sigma white belt workshop. Our plan is to continue this session in 2026 by offering the next step, which is the yellow belt. And for those that don't know, there are two other steps. There's a green belt and a black belt, which unfortunately we can't bring in a conference setting, but we will work with our participants to get them those further workshops as well. Additionally, we're starting a roundtable series for attendees. This will be a more laid-back approach where you'll connect with your peers two ways, either by specialty or by topic. And some of those topics will be HR, risk and compliance, operations, and revenue cycle management. For the heart of the program on Thursday and Friday morning, we're covering a wide range of topics such as recruitment, payroll, audits, compliance, payer surveillance, social engineering, AI, cybersecurity, legal updates, and issues that are involving HER and Cures Act.
Well, that sounds like an amazing agenda. I can't wait to attend. And I was really interested in the white belt workshop. So you might see me in that on Wednesday. Fingers crossed. Now, I always enjoy the networking events, and I see that you have a silent auction this year. And I don't know if that's new. Did you have a silent auction in the past?
We did not. It is new for this year and exciting. Who doesn't love an auction, right?
Right. I mean, and I how did I miss that all those years? So I'm glad that you confirmed that it is new. So I'm very excited about the silent auction. Can you tell our listeners a little bit more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. All registered attendees are going to receive 20 tickets to use as they wish during the auction, which is being held during the Wednesday night welcome reception, sponsored by MILMIC. Thank you very much. And hosted in the exhibit hall. We're busy gathering lots of items for the auction now, and I can tease you a little bit and let you know that there's some great donations coming in so far, including 4 box seats right behind the dugout for a Mets game this season. The marketing team is working on compiling the list and will be releasing more information regarding the auction items as we get closer to the event. But of course, if anybody has any donations, please get in touch with us at NYMGMA. I also can't wait to see everyone at the Tin Rooster, which is another great venue at Turning Stone. We're having Country Night, a networking event Thursday night there. We're looking forward to attendees and exhibitors getting into the theme of the night and dressing the part. We do have a fantastic MC lined up for the night, and he'll be providing instructions for some of the most popular and newest country line dancing. So be prepared and bring your cowboy hats and boots. We're encouraging everyone to participate.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun. And I heard a rumor there might be some line dancing lessons. So I'm excited about that. And I'm also excited to break out my cowboy hat that I haven't worn in a couple of years. It sounds like a really fun time. Now, how does anybody register for these upcoming events?
Yeah, registration is just a click away on the New York MGMA website, and that is New York spelled out MGMA.com. Simply click on the events tab and select the events you want to attend, whether it's one of the regional events we previously discussed or the state annual conference. As always, my fantastic team is ready and willing to assist anybody that requires a little extra help. So if you get on the website, you can't find your way around, just give us a call and we'll be happy to walk you through it.
Great, thank you for that. And listeners, I will leave the website information in the notes of this podcast, so you will have it. Now, if somebody would like to become a member, how do they sign up?
So membership is also available online by clicking the Join tab on our website. You can also click on any of the links from our e-blast or our social media posts. They will all lead you right back to enrollment for membership or registration for the conference or any of the events if that's what you're looking for.
Okay, great. And will there be any special discounts to look out for this spring?
Absolutely. We are running a plethora of discount programs right now for the spring. We have flash sales going on. We have BOGOs, group discounts for 3 or more, and also any non-member who registers for the spring conference is going to receive 1 year of membership with New York MGMA with their registration. I would also like to tell anyone who's having funding issues but would like to attend the conference or become a member, please reach out to us. Just give us a call or shoot us an email. We have corporate partners and member partners that are ready, willing, and able to assist by sponsoring membership or sponsoring registration to the conference.
Great. And do you have a phone number or an email that you'd like to share with our listeners in case they want to reach out to you personally?
Yes, absolutely. The phone number is 844-333-5511, or you can email us at info@NewYork, spelled out, MGMA.com.
Great. Thank you for that. Well done. It sounds like a really exciting spring for the NYMGMA. I'm looking forward to attending at least 3 of these events. Do you have anything you'd like to say additional to our listeners before we say goodbye? Any final thoughts?
I would just love to say this organization is top-notch. It is really just a one-stop resource for practice managers in New York and includes all the regions previously mentioned. So I encourage anyone in the industry to become a member, get involved. You never know when you need help from someone, and this organization is there to help in any way it can.
Great. Well, thanks, Dawn, for being a guest today. I look forward to seeing you at the end of the month and then again in June.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. And that's the verdict on Dawn Wilno in the New York MGMA. Anyone interested in becoming a member or attending any of the events scheduled this spring, visit the website at NYMGMA.com. That's NEWYORKMGMA.com. Thanks, everyone, for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed this very informative podcast. Stay connected with us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and X for updates on additional podcasts. This podcast is for general purposes only and should not be construed as medical or legal advice. This podcast is not comprehensive and does not cover all possible factual circumstances. Because the facts applicable to your situation may vary, or the laws applicable in your jurisdiction may differ, please contact your attorney or other professional advisors for any questions related to legal, medical, dental, or professional obligations, the applicable state or federal laws, or other professional questions.